show you how to make a 22-inch throw pillow. I have cut 2 pieces of fabric with the same design, so I have a front and back that match. The pillow is going to be finished at 22 inches. I've cut each piece to be 23 inches square. That's for the seams, and I'm actually going to use a flat flange in lieu of piping to go around the edge. I'm going to show you how to make this. The flange has to be cut on the bias. I'm going to show you on a piece of fabric, since I've already cut it, on a piece of fabric that is just a perfect, well, a rectangle. This is the straight of the fabric when you pull left to right and up and down. Piping and any type of trim that goes around the edge has to be cut on the bias. This is the bias, and that is so it goes around the corners neatly. In order to do that, you fold the fabric over and make a triangle, and this right here is what gets cut. This is the piece that I cut. You can see how I've got this nice triangle with all of these pieces that are going to be stitched together. So what happens now is these all get joined, and that is done where you put the 2 edges, the 2 diagonal edges together, stitch them, and you end up with a much longer piece that you can work with. I'm now at my machine, stitching all my pieces together for the flange. Trim off the extra edge. And then this is going to be ironed flat. This piece right here, the seam, fold it, and this entire piece gets ironed nice and neatly. Next, I'm going to stitch the piece of fabric that I have cut on the diagonal, made a long strip for the flange, and ironed it. I'm going to stitch it together, just so I have more control over this when I attach it to the pillow. Okay, so now I have my flange, my piece that is called the flange, all stitched and ready to attach to the pillow. This is absolutely, by the way, the same way you would make piping, except before stitching it, obviously, the piping goes in the little pocket, and you stitch this down. Okay, here is the stitching of the flange. You come to the corner, I'm going to make a little tuck. corner. Keep your needle all the way down so that it holds the fabric in place. And come around your corner. Like so. If you can see that. There is the corner. I'll do that again. Get a good look at my corners. Okay, here's my corner. I'm going to make an inverted pleat. Stitch to the middle of the pleat, leave the needle in, turn the pillow, it's a little tricky, and stitch. I am stitching my flange to the front of the pillow. When I come to the corners, I have to invert and make a little tuck . You get this little tuck here. I'll hold it up in a second. Here are my corners. There is the tuck. You can see it. Last one. This one is a little tricky because I have to join the two raw edges. Okay, there's my tuck. To join the edge, open up this seam a little bit. Turn this edge in, the raw edge, and then overlap it. And stitch. There is the front of the pillow with this little flange, tiny little flange, flat flange. This is what the finished corner looks like, and then the join, the two sides together, the two ends together. The next thing that I do is I put the zipper in. I have invisible zippers that I like to use. They just look neater, they do the job, they are invisible, and once the pillow's together. And it's easier to put this on, to attach the zipper, before the pillow is put together. So I'm going to change to my zipper foot. I have to open the zipper, and it's wider than the pillow, which is very nice because then I can decide where I want it to start and where I want it to end. And what you need to do is pull the teeth open. There's a little pocket here. You want to pull the teeth open, and that is where you're going to put your zipper foot and stitch. Okay, the next thing that has to be done, and this can be a little tricky since I'm working with striped fabric. The stripes have to match at the ends, at the top end and the bottom end. So the best thing to do is pin it. Pin it in place. Okay, this gives some control over where the zipper's going. So now I am going to start my zipper, so I'll start my stitching of my zipper right where it lines up. Okay. With any luck, the stripes are much. Let's see what happens here. Pins. Take the pins out. There it is. Zipper, flange, and they all match.